Hi, I'm Mike Brewer, pastor of the Blue Ash Presbyterian Church, and this is Mike's midweek message, a Wednesday dose of encouragement and hope and maybe a few uplifting thoughts. Thanks for dropping in. I just came across the most fascinating story on the internet. It's about a group that gives gold medals to animals for devotion to duty and for courage and for outstanding acts of bravery. There's a charity, a veterinary charity in England that's been around for more than 100 years. It's called the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals. And in the last 20 years, this charity has begun to hand out gold medals to animals who, I guess in human language we'd say, who have gone above and beyond the call of duty. It's wonderful to look at the roll call of animals who have received these gold medals for their service. For instance, there is a Labrador Retriever named Indal, whose disabled owner was struck unconscious. Indal dragged the owner into the recovery position, covered the man with a blanket, retrieved the man's cell phone and pressed it up against his face until the owner retained consciousness. And only then, after the owner was conscious, did Indal leave the man's side to go find help. Amazing story. Other recipients of the gold medal from the PDSA are Dylan and Cracker, a couple of animals who were awarded the prize because of their work in Turkey in the aftermath of a terrible earthquake in 1999, when these two sniffers found scores of people who were buried alive under the wreckage and saved their lives by guiding rescuers to them. Then there's George, who received the medal posthumously. George was a Jack Russell who was killed while protecting a group of children from two attacking pit bulls. I can't help but reflect on the words of Jesus. Greater love has no one than this, that someone would lay down their life for their friends. Another dog named Canine Killer, now there's a macho name, but has to be tough, I guess, is a Belgian Malinois who works in a national park in South Africa, protecting rhinos from poachers and keeping those endangered animals safe and healthy and alive. Most recently, the PDSA Gold Medal was awarded for the first time to an animal that was not a dog. The award recently went to Magawa, who is a Gambian pouched rat. Magawa has been at work for some years in Cambodia. During the Cambodian Civil War, somewhere between 4 and 6 million landmines were scattered and buried and hidden across the country. These landmines have caused thousands of deaths and thousands of maimings and loss of limbs. And so getting these landmines cleared away is a major goal toward establishing some kind of healthy normalcy in Cambodia. Magawa has been trained to sniff out the explosives involved in landmines. Magawa to date has cleared something like 150,000 square yards of land, sniffed out 39 landmines at last count, and 29 unexplored ordnances and shells buried under the earth. Magawa can clear an area roughly the size of a tennis court in about half an hour, a task that would take a human with a metal detector about 4 days to accomplish. Now, if you're looking for a moral in all this, I'm not sure there is one. We could make one up. We could say that maybe the moral is we ought to be kinder and more respectful and appreciative to the creatures we share this world with. Or maybe the moral is that if God can use a Gambian pouched rat to make the world a better place, then God could use even me, even an aging Presbyterian pastor. But maybe there's not a moral, except that I like being reminded that I live in a world where, although it's often overlooked or ignored or played down or unrecognized, I live in a world where there is so much courage, so much service, so much sacrifice and goodness going on, not just among my own Homo sapiens kind, but even among our four-footed brothers and sisters. And I like being reminded of that because it's easy to focus on the bad news and overlook the good news. I'm glad to be in a world where there's so many good things going on. It makes me appreciative. It reminds me to give thanks to God and to be humble about how many creatures are working so hard to make things better instead of worse. Well, that's it for today. A few rambling thoughts. If this inspires you, I'm glad. If it encourages you to look for your way to serve and make the world better, that's great too. But if it just makes you feel a little happier about the world we live in, that's good enough for me. Thanks for dropping in. I look forward to seeing you again soon. In the meanwhile, be strong, be safe, be faithful. I'll be in touch again. Bye.